There is a rule in the museum world that they don't teach you in art history. It's called the weight of observation. They say that if a piece of art is looked at by enough people for enough centuries, it starts to develop a memory. It starts to expect the attention. My name is Elias. I worked the graveyard shift at the Paris Museum for 6 years. I like the quiet. I like the statues. But after what happened last Tuesday, I've realized that the statues, they really like me too. This is the log of my final shift. Every night at 1 a.m., 3 a.m., and 5 a.m., the night guard has to perform what's called a posture check in the Hellenistic wing. It sounds like a joke, right? Checking if a 2,000-pound block of marble moved. But the logbook is very specific. You don't just check yes or no. You have to describe the angle of the head, the position of the fingers, and the direction of the gaze. I used to think it was just a way to make sure we weren't sleeping on the job. I used to think the veiled woman in the corner was just a masterpiece of stone. But have you ever looked at a museum floor at night? It's polished to a mirror finish. It looks like black water. Last month I noticed that in the reflection on the floor, the veiled woman wasn't wearing a veil. She was just staring at me. When I looked up, the veil was back, just stone, just art. I told myself it was the fluorescent lights playing tricks on a tired brain. Last Tuesday was different. The HVAC system, this massive roaring beast that usually fills the halls with white noise, just died. The silence was physical. It felt like cotton being stuffed into my ears. I reached the Greek wing for the 3 a.m. check. I pulled out my flashlight. The beam hit the statue of the wounded Gaul. He's supposed to be slumped over, dying. But when the light hit him, he was sitting bolt upright. His stone hand wasn't on his chest anymore. It was reaching out, toward the hallway, toward me. I froze. I didn't breathe. I watched the reflection on the floor. In the reflection, the statue was standing up. It was walking toward my reflection in the dark water of the marble. I could hear the stone scraping, scritch, 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 like fingernails on a chalkboard, but the statue in the room wasn't moving. Only the one in the floor was. I ran. I didn't care about the logbook. I didn't care about the job. I sprinted toward the security office, but the halls felt longer. The Discobolus, the athlete, was in every hallway I passed. He was in the Roman wing, then the Egyptian wing. Every time I saw him, he was closer. His stone arm was cocked back, ready to throw that disc. I made it to the office and slammed the door. I looked at the monitors. All 16 cameras were pointed at the same spot, the Greek wing, but there were no statues on the screens, just empty pedestals. Then I looked at the monitor for the security office, the room I was sitting in. On the screen, I wasn't alone. The veiled woman was standing directly behind my chair. Her stone fingers were inches from my neck. I felt a coldness, not like AC, but like sitting next to a block of ice. I didn't look back. I burst out the emergency exit and haven't stopped shaking since. I checked the news the next day. The museum reported a vandalism incident. They said several statues were found repositioned. If you ever go to a museum, do me a favor. Don't look at the statues. Look at the floor. Look at the reflection. If the reflection is smiling at you while the statue is weeping, run, because stone doesn't forget, and it doesn't like being ignored. Subscribe for more logs from the night shift, and stay away from the marble.